On this video, we're going to solve nonlinear systems. So when we solve nonlinear systems, we could do it two different methods. First method is solving by graphing. You could graph both of these two and then see if there's intersection points. If there is, the x value of the intersection point is the solution. And you could also do it algebraically. Now, graphing is easy because you could use a graphing calculator or Desmos and graph both of these two and find the intersection points. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it algebraically. So you need to set these two equal to each other. You need to set these two equal to each other so you get x minus 8x plus 12 equals 4x minus 24. And we're going to solve this equation. So it's going to be x squared minus 12x plus 36 equals 0. Now, it looks like we could have solved this by factoring. X minus 6 equals 0. So we get x equals 6. We only have one solution. X equals 6. That means when you graph this, you are going to get only one intersection point. And the x value of the intersection point is 6. How do you get the y value of the intersection point? Well, all you got to do is plug in 6 for x and then find the y value, which is 0. Let's take a look at this example. You got x squared plus 2x minus y equals 5. 2x plus y equals 7. If you were to solve this by graphing method, remember, you need to isolate y and then move everything else to the other side. Same here. Y equals 7 minus 2x. If you're using graphing calculator, and if you're using Desmos, you could just put it as it is and it will graph the whole thing. So how do you solve this algebraically? Well, we have to use a substitution. This is what I mean. Using this equation right here, you know that y is 7 minus 2x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 7 minus 2x over here to this y. So you end up getting what x squared plus 2x minus quantity 7 minus 2x equals 5. So you get x squared plus 2x minus 7 equals 5. So you get x squared plus 4x minus 12 equals 0. This is factorable. X plus 6 times x minus 2. So you end up getting x equals negative 6 and x equals 2. So you have two solutions for x. How do you find the y solution? Well, just plug it over here. When x equals negative 6, y is going to be 19. What about when x equals 2? When x equals 2, y is going to be 3. So these two graphs will intersect at negative 6, 19 and 2, 3. Let's take a look at this example. So we got two quadratic equations here. Notice you got negative 2y and positive 2y. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use the elimination method, meaning that add them up. Since these two are the opposite, when you add them up, you get 4x squared minus 4x equals negative 2. So you end up getting 4x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. You could divide everything by 2. You get 2x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to use a quadratic formula here. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which is 2. So you get 2 plus or minus square root of, that's 4 minus 8 all over 4. Now hold on, wait a minute. So what's 4 minus 8? That's negative 4, right? Look, remember we talked about discriminant? If the discriminant is negative, what happens? You don't have any real solutions. It's two complex solutions. That means there are not going to be real solutions here. In other words, when you graph these two, you will not be able to find x-intercepts. So the answer is there are no real solution. Let's take a look at our last example. We got x squared plus y squared equals 10, y equals negative 3x plus 10. If you remember, this is a circle. That's the equation of a circle. So we have a circle and a linear line. So let's see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put x squared using substitution. Your y is going to be quantity negative 3x plus 10 squared equals 10. So what happens over here? You get x squared. Now what is this? That's same thing as negative 3x plus 10 times negative 3x plus 10, which is going to be 9x squared minus 30x minus 30x plus 100. So you end up getting 9x squared minus 60x plus 100. Equals 10. So let's simplify it. You're going to get 10x squared minus 60x plus 90 equals 0. Oh, look at that. We could divide everything by 10. So let's divide everything by 10. And this is factorable. By the way, this is a perfect square trinomial because you could rewrite it as a square of a binomial. So the only solution you get is x equals 3. And how do you find the y value? We'll plug it back in over here. It'll be 1. So it looks like we only have one solution. And graphically speaking, when you graph these two, you are only going to have one intercept.